All right, we're back with the review of the 2013 Field Notes limited edition seasonal releases.
Colors.
We did spring, summer, fall, and winter, and we're going to talk about each one in turn. Winter's still available for purchase by 3-packs and as part of a color subscription. If you buy winter now, you'll also get spring, summer, and fall. For 2014, spring is on press, and we always say that you're going to love it, but in this case,
If you don't like spring, there's something wrong with you.
if you don't like spring, we will send you your money back. So spring is going to be awesome, and summer is as well. And summer is totally different from anything we ever did. Anyhow, enough sales. In the spring, we did the America the Beautiful edition. It's the first time we ever put an image on Field Notes. It's a set of 3 memo books, like usual, with 3 different images. And they're printed 4-color in kind of a messy 1950s chunky line screen,
Right. We got
oversaturated sort of
Spacious
way.
Skies, Amber Waves of Grain, and Purple Mountains Majesty.
The images wrap around the outside. They contain lined paper on the inside.
About a 70-pound finch, which is heavier than I think, well, as heavy as anything we used, but it was really popular.
I think we did the same for Salesman maybe. But
And then kind of off-white to match the one side coated, one side matte, kind of corporate, or what do you call it, sort of cheesy, chunky stock to kind of give it that sort of AAA map or travel guide, like, you know, you'd buy at the rest area kind of look from the 50s. Printing the line screen and the out of register was difficult because printers have been spending the last 30, 40 years since this, like perfecting line screens and printing and and just calibrating everything and computerizing everything. So it was difficult to even get the printer to work with like I think we used a 150 or 300 line screen on this, which was smaller than anyone would use anymore. And
or larger.
Larger dots, right?
Right.
So it was hard to even find a way to do that because the software these days doesn't even rip the film, or well, they don't even use film anymore, the plates to something that rough. And then on press, actually, angling and tilting the rollers to get sort of the weird registration. They all thought we were crazy.
Yeah, when you have these in your hand and you get in real close to them, you can really see how it's slightly out of register and beautifully sort of accidentally on purpose bad. We also did this white bar along the bottom. We've always sort of wanted to do that, and this seemed like the right way to do it with the 4-color photo. The books that sort of inspired us from the 30s and 40s were frequently made by large companies like seed companies or fence companies, and they would give them to their local distributor who would put their co-op information down there. So if this was from the Funk Seed Company, maybe we're getting a delivery of something, of the Funk Seed Company, then maybe the local Decatur Seed Company would put their logo on the bottom of these as well.
Which I was just thinking we make custom books for customers now too. We do almost the same thing. We can print a logo on the back, so it's kind of the same idea.
Exactly right. And the add-on with this was cool. It was this water transfer decal, old school.
Yep. It's printed by the Art Decal Corporation in California. We tracked them down. And they've been doing these since the 50s, I think, doing for Disney and for like surf companies and hot rod companies. It's like a model airplane kind of thing where you soak it in water and then squeegee it off onto your surface, or you can put it inside a window. You can apply it either way.
Put your I visited Arizona sticker in the back of your Country Squire station wagon.
Right, or your Airstream or your guitar case or your big hard luggage or whatever you stick your travel decals on.
Good Sam, like when you go to the
Next
KOA campground. And so that sort of brought the America the Beautiful thing is onto the road. And so for a film to go with this, we were figuring to do some sort of a road trip. We had the idea of actually painting a barn in rural America.
Yeah.
We almost did that at the last minute, and we may yet. But there was a lot of complications involved in that.
Involved mostly snow, and you can't paint when it's 20 degrees.
Exactly. And then I think maybe at a bar we came up with, somebody was talking about those old Burma Shave commercials or Burma Shave ads in which they would put a series of signs spaced out every few hundred yards along the side of the road. So as you drove by the signs, they made a poem. And so we created our own set of Burma Shave signs. Theirs were not set as beautifully, and certainly not in Futura, But you can check out that film. That was kind of a fun thing to do in the winter in the River Valley in Western Illinois.
Western Illinois,
So
yep.
that was a lot of fun. So that was Spring, the America the Beautiful edition. You can still find those in plenty of our retailers. We might even have a few still around at our store. But
Yeah, they're getting short. Yeah, we're just about out.
the retailers love them, so they're in lots of places. After that, we moved to the summer, and we did this, which is the Night Sky edition, which was going to be one thing and came out to be something else. And it was the single fastest sellout of any limited edition ever, and it was a big run, so they were very popular. We had come up with the idea of doing something with constellations, and we wanted to make them glow in the dark. But after countless tests, we did screen printing, we did foil printing, and then
Foil with screen printing
screen
over
printing
it.
on
We did,
top
yeah,
of it. We
offset,
did all kinds of
yeah.
different tests, and the stars were never glowy enough for us. So at the last minute, Bryan came up with the idea of using foil, and then by luck and research, we found this holographic foil, which, I don't know if you're going to pick it up here, but sort of the reflections change color as you see them from different angles. Each book has a different slice of the summer night sky with their associated galaxies and constellations. There's an early summer, midsummer, and late summer.
And that was an amazing, super fun film to shoot because Steve and I went out to Great Basin National Park in Nevada and just got lucky, got a really beautiful, clear night, and shot a time. It wasn't even a time lapse, kind of a
Reverse time.
reverse time, like that we would shoot kind of an exposure every 30 seconds and then stretched it out into a real-time movie of the stars moving across the sky, and sitting out with Steve in the middle of nowhere for 2 nights in a row was actually an amazing experience. It was a lot of fun.
And the film is 6 hours long. It was one of the first 4K, meaning the highest possible resolution at this moment, films that was uploaded to Google. The people at Google helped us, at YouTube, the people at Google helped us get that uploaded. So if you have 6 hours and odd minutes to spare and you have a 4K monitor, you can enjoy an entire night sky, courtesy of the Night Sky edition.
Or if you get the chance to go to Great Basin, I wouldn't pass up on that.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing as well. So those were super popular, sold out very quickly. Not
these had
available here.
Black staples, which we didn't mention. These had copper staples, which was the first time we did that.
We're starting to get colorful with our staples.
Yeah, black staples on these, and we did a reticle grid inside sort of the NASA crosshair design for the graph inside.
Like that you would see an optical display of some
Right,
sort
right.
to sort of
So-
map the sky. And it is a...
It's a French construction, what is the
what
name
kind
of
of
it?
ink is that on there?
Blacktop, I think. Yeah, Blacktop is the name. And then, yeah, gray ink for the reticle grid.
gray ink.
Yeah, and silver ink on the, or
So,
light gray ink on the cover.
Along with Raven's Wing, which was another black one from a couple of years ago, those are two of our best sellers. So people like the black notebook. So maybe there's another one someday down the line. Then we moved to fall. And the whole concept of this was sort of like if you take a Venn diagram, and it's like people who like field notes and people who like beer. And if you put the two of them together, there's a lot of common area. So we came up with the Drink Local edition. And then this is the first time that a single edition had two distinct
Right.
3-packs.
Right. Crop had 6 different books, but it was
National
all
Crop
one
had
pack.
6 different
Yeah.
books in one 6-pack. This was 2 3-packs to make a 6-pack. One was, this was all about sort of local craft beer, and one was ales, and one is ales and one is lagers. There's a few of these left. We did a nice craft belly band. This is the lager set. Each set came with this is the ale set. Each one came with a beautiful hand letterpressed 2-color coaster, which are awesome. Some of these are still available. Talk about these covers, Bryan.
Sure. Well, it's on real heavy stock, but we used a kind of this neat rubbery varnish that it's like a soft touch varnish and then gloss varnish on the lettering. So it's kind of a nice contrast. And the way they feel is really neat. They almost feel rubbery, and then they wear really nicely since the color's printed on the paper. Like you kind of get that nice white.
It starts to wear off.
Yeah, you get that
a
kind of
little
like
bit.
like denim kind of scruffs on it, which looks nice.
Each color is in reference to a particular kind of ale or lager. And that was a fun day where we just went to the liquor store and got all different kinds of beer.
Just 100 bottles of beer. Yeah.
And we were pouring them into glasses and photographing them and using the Pantone books to try to figure out what color would best approximate this style of beer, given that two breweries dark ales might be a different color.
Right.
So we're sort of trying to make, like, these three go beautifully together, these three go beautifully together. So.
Pilsner, American Pale Lager, Bock, Stout, Red, what is it?
Red ale.
Or Amber Ale, we called it, yeah. And then this is India Pale Ale.
India Pale
So,
Ale.
yeah.
I could go for a beer right now.
Yeah, me too.
And then for subscribers only, we designed this neat little 6-pack carrier. So I don't know what the practical use of carrying around 6 field notes.
You're going to a party.
Yeah, you might want to take them. You're going to a field notes party. You might want to bring your field notes to the
We
party.
need to make a field notes cooler now.
Ooh, that's a good idea. And there are still some of these left, more lagers than ales. So I don't know exactly why.
The coasters were, like hand letterpressed, which was
Talk about that a little bit.
our
I mean,
our friends at
thousands and
Tandem
thousands.
Felix, Liz and Jamil printed them for us, and we made thousands of them. And I think Dan, our friend Dan, who printed a lot of our letterpress stuff before, closed his shop up and sold his equipment to Liz and Jamil, and they've been helping us out since. But this turned out to be a much bigger project, I think, than they anticipated. And they started printing them rather than printing on a sheet and cutting them out. They printed them on pre-cut coasters, which sounded like a good idea until they remembered that you can't really register a coaster. Like every time you drop it into the printer, it could go in at any angle. So they had to sit there one by one and feed them in and hope they lined up. And they ended up spending
40,000 times they had to do that, or
they
whatever
spent
it was.
they really came through for us because it was a huge project. And I know they missed the replacements reunion at Riot Fest. So whenever they think of us,
It wasn't that good though. I saw the replacement.
But they came out really nice. I mean, they look nice. It's a really heavy impression with 2-color letterpress on You're not going to see too many 2-color letterpress coasters.
Yeah, it's super chunky and very practical.
And practical. And they look nice. We sell these separately also, and we have quite a few of them left.
We have a couple hundred.
Even once these are gone, I'm sure
we'll.
we'll still have some coasters around.
So that was fall, and then for the winter, one that's currently on sale, both as 3-packs and in as part of a subscription, is Cold Horizon. And Cold Horizon is, again, something that we've always wanted to do, is put a gradient. How does this work?
Yeah, that's it.
Put a gradient on the notes, and instead of doing the same gradient on each notebook, we did one gradient across all 3. So you can see that the color sort of moves from one to the other.
Or you can move this one over here.
Right, so, and then each book, of course, duplicates that on the back so that the gradient works across. These are something about the way these are slick, and the paperweight are kind of
heavy
small
covers
and
again.
Precise, and they feel like really nice
UV
and
varnish,
tight.
so they're real shiny and
Yeah.
kind of slick. And then the same gradient on the inside for the type goes across.
That's totally nerdy.
And then we had 3 different. This is the first time we've done different color papers across an edition. So there was
That's right. So the interior papers are slightly different. One's a little more gray, one's a little more blue, one's a little more green on the inside, sort of to get that feeling of that right after the sun goes down, before it's totally dark, that sort of gradient of color on the horizon in the sky. These have been very popular as well. There's still some left to be sold, and you can start a subscription with them. Cold Horizon is for the winter. A lot of people gave them as presents as well. A lot of subscriptions were ordered for us to be sent to other people. So this is limited edition number 17, 18, no,
Yep, that's right.
18,
18, 19,
19, 20,
and 21.
21. So we've done 5 of these films and 21 editions. We're about to start spring of 2014. Number 22 is on press. Number 23 is
Summer.
almost in pre-production, and we don't have any idea what number 24 and 25 are yet.
But I got to, again, like the next 2, I don't see how you couldn't like them. They're pretty cool.
right. Especially the next one. We don't think that anybody has ever done this in quantity.
Yep.
It may have been done in a short run by hand, but the thing we're doing for the spring is probably, hopefully,
pretty cool.
We're the first ones to do it. So that's 2013. This, of course, is an old calendar. There is a 2014 one that is available from Field Notes, and we'll do another recap after the next 4.
Thanks a lot, everybody.